beauty isn't really in the eye of the beholder, it's in the eye of biology. So we all have a hardwired system in our brain that tells us when we look at another person's face, it informs us of safety concerns, communication challenges that we might have, preferences that we have, stranger danger, all kinds of things happen in the human mind. We now know this, it's been studied, that matter when you're presenting yourself to the world, okay? But we don't look at ourselves like that. We don't look into our own eyes when we look in the mirror. We look at things on our face. So you go for the thing that you're usually the most concerned about, maybe bags under your eyes or something like that, and that's the thing that you look at when you look in the mirror. Right now, I'm looking into my own eyes. If you were to look into your own eyes, you would see something very different. Your face kind of softly comes into focus around that. Your eyes become, whatever's in focus expands, so your eyes become more intense. And then if anything is pulling your attention away from your eyes, those are things that you want to address. So when you asked here about getting the makeup down with the eyes, it's a smaller area, it's a little bit harder, and it definitely takes more skill. So I'm going to go through a couple of things regarding eye makeup that I think are big mistakes that people make. And starting with, you're going about makeup completely the wrong way in regards to making art on your face, thinking about it as a fashion statement, as a trend, as something that goes with your outfit. None of that is necessarily the goal. If you want to use makeup for its best purpose, which is to let you be seen, heard, and known by other people. So getting people to see into the windows of your soul and not be distracted by anything else on your face, then you become known. But makeup is often just more of a distraction than it is anything else. So anyway, that's the approach that Science of Pretty takes. That's our philosophy of why we do makeup differently than other people. So coming at it from that angle, the first thing that you're doing wrong with eye makeup is that you're probably still doing makeup in your bathroom. And that's, you could buy all the products in the world, but if you're applying them in bad lighting, especially overhead lighting with reflective surfaces all over the place and probably more than one type of lighting, even if you have a vanity mirror in your bathroom, but you also have the overhead light on, look what happens when I turn this overhead light on. I lose eye intensity, I lose focus. And I know what you're thinking. This is like, well, that's the real world, right? Like that's what I'm walking around in. No, you're informing yourself in the mirror how other people should see you. Your energy comes through loud and clear. It is optics, but it is also whatever is in focus expands. So your focus is how someone else will perceive you. So when I turn this off, and all the other lighting goes away and I only have light coming at my face, I'm going to do a much better job of manipulating my face and my eyes and informing my brain what I look like. It's more flattering, and that's how I want to walk around all day, is in this lighting, not the horrible elevator lighting that I'm going to get out of my bathroom. And I have a great bathroom. I have a window, I have overhead lights, I have lights coming this way. It's too many sources, too much bouncing. Get out of the bathroom. Create a vanity space. Buy a mirror, a lighted mirror. It can be any quality. You can take an old mirror and wrap Christmas lights around it if you have to, but get some light coming at your face, not overhead. And if that's not an option, just sit in front of a window. Hopefully it's sunny enough that day for you to be able to see what you're doing. But if you face the light instead of having it come over your head, you're going to do so much better. The second thing is body mechanics. Y'all, so many of you are putting on eyeshadow like this. Your arm is way up in the air and your hand is not resting on anything. You would never write a letter like this, okay, with a small tool. You would always put your hand down on something. You would get total control over this thing in order to do teeny tiny movements that are required around the eyes, okay? So stop that. Get your arms down by your side and come at your face with your arms kind of locked down, and then use your chin if you have to, And practice this in a place where you've given yourself plenty of room, not 10 minutes before you have to leave the house. That's not the time to practice anything. You have to have dates with yourself. You have to give yourself space to try things you've never tried before, because your brain is a liar and it's going to tell you, oh no, I have to wear eyeliner on the bottom because my eyes, they just disappear if I don't. No, you don't. But I understand why you think that, because I felt that way. It took me probably 10 years to stop wearing black eyeliner underneath, because I just couldn't see myself from another person's perspective. So learn to see yourself from another person's perspective. That's easy to do when you're in good lighting, when you're not rushed, and when you have total control over your utensils. Do a better job with skincare. Follow my advice here. Follow the exfoliation videos. Get on my email list and ask for my list. It has the order of skincare and all the products that I like and recommend, and options at 2 different price points. So a cheap one and a bougier option. But your makeup on top of skin that hasn't been cared for is just a waste of time. And I think you don't believe that how much difference good skincare can make. This is me when I was in my 30s. I'm now 50. Yes, I've had a little bit of work done, but my skin is completely different. I used to touch my face and touch my children's young faces and be like, why does my skin feel rough and patchy and their skin feels like a dolphin? And now it's the opposite. My skin is maybe better than my girls. I'm not sure. They have really good skincare because they know better, and because they have sources like this to tell them. But we didn't have this option back then. So we got to get on board with it now. It's not too late. I promise you it will be absolutely worth the time and whatever money you put into it. Okay, so let's talk about a few things with the eyes. Where you go wrong with eyeshadow is that you're not blending, okay? Blending happens over a count of 10 or 20 seconds, okay? So when you get your product into the crease, this is the foundation of eyeshadow, okay? Right in the crease, use your biology and your anatomy to determine where that crease is. It's on top of your eyeball and underneath your brow bone, okay? That is your crease. You're going to put the product there. I used the dark concealer as my eyeshadow today. And you're just gonna roll it back and forth from tear duct, which is this entire space right inside here, all the way out to the last eyelash, but do not go any further than that, okay? Don't put anything out in this area here. That is your eye socket, and you want a nice sharp line cleaning things up. This works beautifully. If you get a little sloppy, just go back in there and give yourself a little cleanup job. You know what to do. Anyway, when you get this pattern down, when you start doing this, you're going to do it 20 or 30 times, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your brain's going to be like, this is stupid. It's already blended. No, it's not. This is the problem. Like, this is where you're not getting it, is that it's not blended, okay? Then once you're at 10, then you start moving up. 11, 12, 13, 14, and my hand is going a little bit higher, a little bit higher. The brush is now almost all the way to my eyebrows. Okay, 20 or 30 seconds, like retrain yourself, sit down and actually count it. Pretend like you're a kindergartner learning to make a W for the very first time. This will change everything for you. It will push this skin back. It will give you a whole new pair of eyes. It'll give you a whole new pair of eyes. Then learn how to take that and kind of basically do the same thing on the bottom with a smaller brush and the same product, basically. Just kind of line out your eyes and then make sure that you're not drooping it down over here. Then you want a little bit of brightness. I'm going to use this again in the corner. And by the corner, I mean this weird place that is not your eye. It's not your nose. Nobody knows what this little place is called. If you do, please comment. But right there, you want a little bit of brightness, and then you want to go back and carve out or clean up just under the brow. But you don't want to put eyeshadow just on your eyelid and then leave this entire space right here completely naked. You've got to deal with the flesh. And once the flesh goes away, then your eyes really get to come forward.